Greetings, good people. Welcome back to the channel. So, if you haven't heard, Tim Norman has finally been sentenced, and he's been sentenced to life. Okay. He is the last out of the four individuals you see on the screen to be handed his sentence. So, without further ado, let's get into this article as per the St. Louis Dispatch that reads former St. Louis reality TV star James Tim Norman was sentenced to 2 life sentences Thursday, today, March 2nd. 2023, for orchestrating a plot to kill his nephew that featured fraudulent life insurance policies, cash payouts, and years of cover ups. Okay. U.S. District Judge John A. Ross sentenced him to life sentences on 2 murder for hire counts Thursday morning, calling the evidence at trial overwhelming proof that Norman masterminded the March 2014 St. Louis killing of his 21-year-old nephew, Andre Montgomery. Before handing him his sentencing, the judge said to Tim, it was a cold-blooded, incredibly premeditated, planned execution of your nephew. Now, a jury found Tim guilty in a September trial that captured national attention. Both Tim and his nephew starred in Welcome to Sweetie Pies, which was a long-running own reality show about the popular soul food business founded by Robbie Montgomery, who is Tim Norman's mother and also Andre's grandmother. Okay. And the show took place in the St. Louis area. All right. Now, several of Montgomery's family members, including his mother, Michelle Griggs, asked in court Thursday that Norman be sentenced to life. Okay, so Michelle Griggs is Andre's mom. And she said his greed has hurt so many people, not just my family. Now, witnesses during the trial testified that Tim hired his nephew's shooter, Travell Anthony Hill, for $5,000 and paid $10,000 to an exotic dancer, that's Terica Ellis, to lure Andre to his death in North St. Louis. Prosecutors presented evidence that Tim then attempted to cash out up to $450,000 in a fraudulent life insurance policy that he took out on Andre and told Ellis to stay quiet. Now, the insurance agent, Wael Yagnam, who helped Tim obtain this fraudulent life insurance policy on Andre, he was sentenced to 3 years in jail. He pled guilty. All right. Now, Tim, he declined to speak on his own behalf in court today, Thursday, but he claimed his innocence on a recent social media post. His attorneys submitted several letters from family and friends asking for leniency. They actually asked for leniency on his behalf before sentencing, including from Tim Norman's mom, the founder of the Sweetie Pies restaurant, Robbie Montgomery. Now, in part of her letter, she wrote, that's Miss Robbie, I am writing to you to ask for mercy for my son. As a mother, I am devastated that my son has been accused and convicted of the crimes. This is part of the letter that she wrote to the judge. She added that her older son was killed when Tim was 15 years old. That's Tim's brother. That's Andre's father. Tim Norman's father was also killed when Tim was a child. She goes on to write, I don't know whether Tim did what he was accused and convicted of. He is still the baby that I bore, and I love him as every mother involved loves their child. Wow. Tim, it's being reported that Tim, he broke into tears several times during 4 hours of trial testimony, telling the jury that he enlisted Terica Ellis and Travell Hill to find his nephew, but not to kill him. He said that he wanted to confront Andre about a recent burglary at his mother's home. Okay. Just to kind of give a little bit of background on that, it was being alleged that Miss Robbie's home was burglarized. Okay. And it was being alleged that Andre had something to do with it. If not, he was the one that did it. That's what's being alleged. So Tim wanted to question Andre about this incident because Andre had gone back to Texas where his family lives. And Tim was trying to get Andre to come back to St. Louis to take a polygraph test to see if, he indeed did this. Miss Robbie, there was communication, text messages that was shown as evidence all over social media where Miss Robbie was pretty much fed up with Andre, that she felt that he was kind of ducking and dodging, taking the polygraph test. Andre expressed that he was scared to come back to St. Louis because he heard that Tim was looking for him, and I don't think it was in a good way. And that kind of put a lot of things into perspective. So it just appeared to me that Miss Robbie might have believed that Andre had something to do with her home being burglarized. There were valuables that were taken out of the home. And she felt that Andre fled back to Texas and didn't want to come back because obviously he was guilty. That's my assumption. And I'm saying to myself, I wonder where she got that idea from. My assumption again, Tim probably planted that seed in Miss Robbie's head. So there you have it. Ellis was sentenced to 3 years in prison last month after pleading guilty to conspiracy to commit murder for hire in the case. Travell Hill, who was the actual shooter, he pleaded guilty to 2 murder for hire counts, and he was sentenced to 32 years in prison in October. Okay. Tim's defense attorney argued in court Thursday that life sentence for his client would be disproportionate. Okay. His theory is Tim is basically going to be serving double or more the time than Travell Hill, who actually admitted to taking Andre's life, pulling the trigger and taking Andre's life. Now, Assistant U.S. Attorney Angie Dennis, she responded that Hill wouldn't have killed Andre if it wasn't for Tim. Pretty much, right? Tim presented a successful face to the public. This is what the Assistant U.S. Attorney said. She said, but he was far more sinister underneath, right? And let's take a look at this video of Andre's family on the steps of the courthouse after the trial. This isn't recent. This was after the trial that was back in September. His family, they were pleased that Tim was found guilty on all of the charges, right? And this is Andre's sister, who spoke to, there were YouTube content creators that were at the trial faithfully every day. And they went live and they did interviews with Andre's family. And there were also news media outlets and things like that out there. So the first place that I saw it, I want to just shout that out. Today's Celebrity News, formerly known as J So Extra on YouTube. I was watching her live video when she was outside of the courthouse after Tim was found guilty on all charges. And that's where I first saw this video. I know since then it's made other news outlets, but that's where I saw it first. So let's see if this will play. Hang tight. Of course, there is.
Why do so many folks over 40 with type 2 start watching?
All right, let's pause this. Hold on. Take this time to like the video, please. Let's skip the ad.
Eating commissary, whatever it is, but it's some peace, but not always. My brother's not gonna come back while he's still in jail, eating commissary, whatever it is. But my mother got some peace. We knew it was him. We knew it. His family could act like that it was him, wasn't him. But this taught me a lesson. It really did. I'm a little nervous, y'all, but it taught me a lesson, and we got justice.
Yes. What is that lesson?
The lesson is, I don't care how much money a person got. I don't understand. You cannot underestimate them. Greed. I don't care if y'all think he's just satisfied or he's stable. No, greedy, jealousy, envious. He was never a role model to my brother. Never. They had my brother living in a dump, in a shack. My brother was not living good. My brother was not. He ran. He told us. We did everything we could. I mean, we just thought it was a better opportunity for him, and they played him.
Well, there you have it. That is Andre's sister. She said a lot more than that. She said that Miss Robbie was very verbally abusive to Andre. She was mean. She said, the family, they can act like Tim is innocent, but they knew that it was Tim all along. So they thought that him moving to St. Louis and being with his grandmother would be a great opportunity. But like she said, they turned out to play him. So in conclusion, you do the crime, you got to do the time. I will say that Andre's mother, Michelle Griggs, May God bless her, because I can't even imagine. I don't want to imagine. Uh, Lord only knows what she has gone through, what she has overcome, what she is going through. But it's good to see that she actually has her family surrounding her, and she definitely needs that, because this is a wound that is never going to heal. And it's crazy because people that were so close in proximity to her, or someone that was so close in proximity to her, was the one that caused her son, to her only son, or no, not her only son, her son to, I think it's her only son, anyway, to lose his life. So may God bless Michelle Griggs, and may God keep her. And I know she might feel some relief, or feel justice has been served, but like the sister said, her brother is never going to come back, So that's all I got. Ain't got no more, you guys. Drop down in the comments. Share your thoughts. I love you for watching. As always, until next time. Peace.